do I define compassion? Compassion is more than just feeling sorry for someone and having pity for them. To have real compassion, you need to put yourself in their shoes to try and feel the way they feel, and then have compassion or react to them how you would want to be treated or talked to, because you will know by putting yourself in their shoes what's going to make that person feel better, or make that person's life better, or get them through that tough time that they are having right then. Explain what you think motivates people to act compassionately. Unfortunately, sometimes people act compassionately because they think it's the right thing to do and it looks good. Some people do it just out of pure love for the person, and some people just do it out of pure love because they're just nice people and just want everyone to have a happy life and not have any turmoil or discomfort or any kind of anguish in their lives. So they just do it because they're loving people. Describe what factors determine how and when we act compassionate. Unfortunately, sometimes it shouldn't have any factors. You should act the same way all the time if you're truly being compassionate. Unfortunately, I guess there is differences in how some people act compassionate, meaning if it's one-on-one, they might be more compassionate or more open and therefore more loving or more caring towards a person. If they're in a group, that might be a factor as to how they react. They might react differently. They might react less compassionate, not at all compassionate, because they might determine that other people will play the role of showing concern and pity and being helpful and helping that person through more than they need to. So they'll just back off and only show some compassion but not full compassion. And it shouldn't matter, but that's a factor that does play a role as to the environment that you're in at the time that you come across someone who's having a tough time or just went through a major event that needs to have that compassion from somebody to show that we care for them. Explain if you believe there are limits to compassion. What are they? Why do they exist? There shouldn't be any limits to compassion if it's true compassion. But the only limit I can think of would be, I guess, giving too much compassion at the point where the person becomes just totally feeling sorry for themselves even more. You can try and show compassion to try and bring that person through the tough time and bring them up. But at some point, they have to turn that around themselves and start new or start a new life or get over that case or get over that issue that they're having or the major trauma and move on. You cannot, I guess, be compassionate forever with somebody. Otherwise, they'll never be able to move on. So that's the limit, I guess, is that there's a time limit. You can show compassion up to a certain point or length of time, but at some point, that person that you're showing compassion to also needs to develop their own feelings and their own way of handling whatever event is causing them this discomfort or anguish.